Hello, everyone. Anyone, if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you. I appreciate you. So, we're going back down the NF rabbit hole. Y'all have really suggested hope a lot. So, that's what we're here for, NF hope. And if you're brand new or if you're coming to the channel just for NF, you may notice things look different. And that's because I've been traveling, y'all, for unfortunate reasons. And you can check out Patreon. I have a blog there if you're at all interested. But right now we're here for hope. So I did pull up the official video, y'all, so I hope that's the right one. NF hope. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Don't lose faith in me. I know you've been waiting. I know you've been praying for my soul. Oh, 30 years you've been dragging your feet, telling me I'm the reason we're...
Sorry, I'm gonna back it up, but his vocal delivery in that opening is just outstanding. His vocal delivery in that opening, you just immediately get in your feels with it, don't you?
30 years you've been dragging your feet, telling me I'm the reason we're stagnant. 30 years you've been claiming you're honest and promising progress. Well, where is it at? I don't want you to feel like a failure. I know this hurts, but I gave you your chance to deliver. Now it's my turn. Don't get me wrong, nature had a great run, but it's time to give the people something different. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my album. Hope. What's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says.
People hate me for pausing, and I'll go back, but it's like this transition that's happening that, to my ear, it's like he came in with a bit of a vocal singing type delivery, and then there was like this mixture of singing and rap is what it sounded like. And now he's off the rap, and he like hits it hard because you hear some of the other effects and voices come in, like, this is my album. It's time to give the people something new. This is my album. And then you have this super intentional pause for effect. Hope. Now he's off the raft, and now seems like he's going into rap. So it's like this progression that's just wow.
Hope. What's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says. Standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is tucking their tail between their legs. What's my definition of success?
Oh, the pause haters, I'm sorry. But That is such a powerful line. My definition of success is standing up for what I believe in, even while everyone else has their tail between their legs. Meaning, what he's saying is, if I have to stand alone, I'll stand alone. Wow.
Between their legs. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. It's a person that'll take a chance on something they were told could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when there ain't one. It's when someone who ain't never had nothing ain't afraid to walk away from more profit because they rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's a person that would never waver or change who they are just to try and gain some credibility so they can feel accepted by a stranger. It's a person that can take the failures in their life and turn them into motivation. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. It's amazing what a little bit of faith can do. If you don't even believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to? I done did things that I regret. I done said things I can't take back. Was a lost soul at a crossroad who had no hope, but I changed that. I spent years of my life holding on to things I never should have kept, full of hatred. Years of my life carrying a lot of baggage that I should have walked away from. Years of my life wishing I was someone different, looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was in. They get it.
Okay, I gotta stop because... And I'll go back. But again, wow, what he's saying is so powerful. My interpretation is, he's essentially saying that my definition of success, and you see the imagery throughout the video, it's almost like he's lost and this other part of himself is guiding him. May not be guiding him in the right direction. Maybe yes, maybe not. But it's like not really knowing which way to go, but knowing that, because I feel like what he's saying is, I'm not going to compromise my integrity. I'm not going to compromise my beliefs just to make a few extra bucks or just to impress somebody. That's my definition of success, is being unapologetically me. That's it. People can take it or leave it. That's what I feel like he's saying. I'm not going to compromise myself. Wow. And then this other part of himself, or this darker figure that's being represented in the video, that's been kind of pointing him as he's trying to find his way. It seems while he navigates this island, comes and pushes him. And okay, let's see.
I was someone different, looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was in. They get it.
That hurt. I'm sorry again with the pausing, but it's like the map that he's carrying around, is that symbolic of like his beliefs and his values? Because he was looking at that and then he fell and he kept it. I don't know. I could be talking nonsense. But he kept it is what made me think, like, I wonder if that represents like his core beliefs, his core values, which he's saying he's not going to compromise just for a little validation.
very evil, difficult to go through, yes, but beneficial. Some would say having a mental breakdown is a negative thing, which on one hand I agree, but on the other hand it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See, if I'd never hit rock bottom, would I be the person that I am today? I don't believe so. I'm a perfect example of what happens when you choose to not accept defeat and face your demons. Took me 30 years to realize that if you want to get the opportunity to be the greatest version of yourself, sometimes you gotta be someone you're not to hear the voice of reason. Having kids will make you really take a step back and look in the mirror. At least for me, that's what it did. I wake up every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms.
Okay. Pausing a lot in this because, sorry to the people who hate pausing. So that's what he was talking about, 30 years. And he says something about like people see having a mental issues or having a mental breakdown, I think he said. People see that as a negative thing, but for him it's what he needed to get out of this 30-year rut or 30-year slump. And earlier in the song he was saying about like all the hatred he was carrying in his heart. It's like that breakdown or that breaking point that he reached is what he needed. So for him it was a positive thing. Even earlier in the song he was talking about being able to be a person who even in the darkest of situations can still see light, find hope, right? The song, hope. Face your demons, actually heal. Oh, this'll make you think, won't it?
Wake up every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms. And having kids will make you really take a step back and look in the mirror. At least for me, that's what it did. I wake up every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms and let him know he's loved. Standing by the window questioning if that is ever going to show up. Isn't something he's gonna have to worry about, don't get it twisted, that was in a shot. Mama, I forgive you, I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough. 30 years of running, 30 years of searching, 30 years of hurting, 30 years of pain, 30 years of fearful, 30 years of anger, 30 years of empty, 30 years of shame, 30 years of broken, 30 years of anguish, 30 years of hopeless, 30 years of hate, 30 years of never, 30 years of maybe, 30 years of later, 30 years of faith, 30 years of hollow, 30 years of sorrow, 30 years of darkness, 30 years of hate, 30 years of baggage, 30 years of sadness, 30 years of stagnant, 30 years of change, 30 years of patience, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of torment, 30 years of 30 years of bitter, 30 years of lonely, 30 years of pushing everyone away. You'll never revolve. I know I can change. We are not enough. We are not the same. You don't have the heart. You don't have the strength. You don't have the will. You don't have the faith. You'll never be loved. You'll never be safe. Might as well give up. Not running away. You don't have the guts. You're the one afraid. I'm the one in charge. I'm taking up. I'm taking up. Reigns.
Oh wow, so he says he picks up his son, and for his child, for his son, wondering if his dad is going to be there is something his child will never have to worry about. But he adds in there rather quickly, hey, that's not a shot at you, Mom, at my mom. That's not a shot. That's just something I'm not gonna do. And then he goes into this really intense kind of like finale kind of feeling of the song, where it does seem like there's those two different parts of himself, because you have the different imagery with the blackness and the different delivery. You know, one is very aggressive, and so, and he's talking about 30 years of this, 30 years of that, 30 years of pain, 30, you know. And so he obviously dealt with many things for a very long time. And as he said earlier in the song, he needed to reach that certain point, that breaking point, it sounds like, for him, to begin actually healing, facing the demons. He said, actually, because y'all, and I was guilty of this for a long time. And I think many people can relate to like having shit go so terribly wrong or having trauma, whatever the case may be. I did this. Maybe some of you can relate, but just for many years, just suppress and ignore, right? Instead of actually dealing with it. But what I realized after I did heal and come to a place of acceptance was suppressing. I mean, you can get through the day, you can be functional, but it is still affecting you because it's in you. And that's what he's saying. I feel like at the end, he's like, you know what? I'm taking the reins. I'm taking the reins. I've been dealing with this for 30 years. I had been dealing with this for 30 years. Now I have hope. Now I want to be a representation of hope. I'm taking the reins and you can take the reins too. I feel like that's what he's saying. Y'all can let me know in the comments if I'm way off base, but I feel like that was super technical, the song. There was some singing, there was transition, where I feel like there was a mixture of singing and rapping when he was on the raft. He gets off the raft, then he starts rapping. He goes through the floor, the flow switches up. He's a different style. You've got these two different voices happening. So I feel like it was quite technical as well. And there was some, like, there was production, there was some effects that I heard on his voice at times, but it wasn't overly produced. It was like just the right amount to get that intensity that you want for a message like this, for a song like this. Wow, so he's kind of taking you through his journey of how he got to a place of hope. All right, Annette. All right. I love the video too, but the song I feel like could stand on its own, even without the video. But I do think the video adds a layer that just makes it extra captivating because you have the visual experience and the song. But, all right. Nate? Okay then. Well, thank y'all who suggested this. And thank y'all for the NF suggestions and trying to help me with what's the best order to go into. I appreciate y'all so much. And y'all who are coming back, I try to respond to every comment. I don't always get to, but I do read them. So I see your support. I see your suggestions. I see that the helpfulness. I appreciate y'all so much. And thank you for this. And thank you for joining me. And I'll see you in the next one.